Are you sick of mystery and masks? Don't you want a serial killer you can just imagine yourself grabbing a beer with? I've got you. Do you love it when a movie introduces plot thread after plot thread, but you hate to see them resolved by the end of the movie? Yuck. I got you. Do you secretly want to watch a comedy, but it's scary movie night and your friends are pressuring you to pick a scary movie, but scary movies make you tinkle your diaper? My dude, boom! I've got you. They might as well be watching Scooby-Doo, but they'll never know. Today we're reviewing The Girl in the Photographs, the last movie produced by writer, director, and producer Wes Craven. But I don't think he had much input in this movie because it's just gonna make it It's bad. But don't take my word for it. Let's watch the movie together and see what develops in The Girl in the Photographs. Our sullen protagonist lives in the boring little town of Spearfish, and she's got a big problem. Someone has been harassing her for weeks by sending her unsolicited dick pics. I mean dead chicks. She takes the photo to the cops, but they're like, I'm pretty sure this is a TikTok filter.
The camera doesn't show anything?
Well, the camera in the foyer there doesn't show the bulletin board.
Can't you move it? I mean, how many more of these do I have to keep on finding?
But then it wouldn't be looking at the doors, which is why the store has the camera there.
My guy, someone please tell this man that Jerry pocketing some Hubba Bubba at the checkout desk is not on the same level as a Michael Myers murder spree.
No body, no crime.
7 women are dead in this dinky little one-horse town, Sheriff. If you don't do something, you're gonna lose all your female votes. But the sheriff is like, well, no sweat off my back. I don't even test positively with that demographic anyway. So our protagonist is reasonably upset. She's the only one finding these photos, and this is number 7 so far. She signs a statement and nothing else is done. Back in the apartment, Colleen is carefully organizing her magazine collection, as you do, when she notices the pose of one of the covers vaguely resembles the pose of the girl in the photograph. That kind of looks the same, I guess. Alright, forget that town. We're in California, baby! Alright, we cut to the home of world-famous photographer Peter Hemmings, a title held by the most prominent actor in the movie, Kal Penn. So Kal Penn is known for his comedic roles like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle and Van Wilder. He was also a longtime actor on the show House. Without sugarcoating it, Kal Penn is so goddamn detrimental to this movie that he should be classified as radioactively funny. Any line of dialogue he touches or scene that he's in instantly loses all tension or sense of horror and suspense. I'll get into it more, but this Peter Jennings character is extra with like 5 X's, man. Okay, so at the top of the scene, Peter is reading some major exposition. It is so heavy-handed that it goes on for like 3 minutes. Basically, a news blogger thinks these pictures of dead girls are pictures of missing dead girls. That's all you need to know.
This guy knows I'm from Spearfish. He's doing this photography thing with his victims as an homage, as a nod to me, Spearfish's most famous citizen and only known living artist. You know that relatable moment when you just stop for a second and you just summarize your lifetime accomplishments? Side note, you're using thumbtacks to pin up your photos, my guy? Did the set designer come like 10 minutes before they started shooting and just start throwing stuff on the wall? Okay, so Peter is convinced the serial killer is killing and posing these girls to pay homage to him because his style is so specific and unique that it is a brand unto itself. But wait, a moment ago he admits he has not seen these photos? See these pictures? They're like literally the only thing that's not on the internet. Who do I know who can make this happen?
Then how do you know they have anything to do with your work? So this is Rose, Peter's girlfriend and model, whose personality can be summed up in 3 emojis. And this is Peter's shy and personable assistant named Chris.
I'm gonna steal this nuts idea. I'm gonna hire models pretending to be dead people. Actually not that much of a stretch.
So Peter is going to steal that idea because the idea is so original and revolutionary, and it's totally not like Tyra Banks did that 10 years ago.
There's those kids from the last shoot, Trip and what's her name? What's her fucking name, this one?
Victoria.
Back in Spearfish, Colleen is being dropped off at work by her ex-boyfriend Ben, who you just need to know is a douche canoe, who really wants to get back with her. She punches into work and we see 2 guys in doll mask approach the building. They're gonna jump Colleen the moment she gets out, but no, that's not Colleen, that's Jill, Colleen's best friend. And they're such good friends that their bladder cycles sync up, which happens with girls. Meanwhile, the California gang is making their way to Spearfish, listening to Peter rant about how we live in a society.
That every fucker in the country thinks they're a photographer now. It's awful because it makes everything just like watery piss.
Peter decides he wants to have a party when they arrive, so they decide to head over to the grocery store and grab some supplies. Peter absolutely falls in love with this red truck because it's so cliche, it's cool, which doesn't make sense because every photo we've ever seen from Peter has been against a crisp white backdrop. Do cameras even work when there's not a blank wall behind the model? They leave a note for the truck owner to contact them so they can work something out for the photo shoot. Let's make note of this plot thread in case it comes back. It doesn't come back. Yeah, it doesn't come back, forget it. Let's put that in the trash, it doesn't come back. Colleen and Chris meet and get to know each other as the mystery gang continues their hijinks in the background. Then Peter invites her to the party in the most notoriously creepy way.
Tell her I want to take her picture, Chris. Actually, tell her that we're having people over at this house that we're staying at. And tell her everyone knows it is the cabin on the Lake Road, but tell her it's actually more like a house. You'll make it sound cute.
Tell her she's beautiful.
So the owner of the red pickup truck comes. He sees the car, sees a little note, drives home, and we see where he's been keeping Jill locked up in his basement. This movie was like tension, suspense, mystery? No need. Let's shine a bright light on the face of our serial killer. Why would you reveal the killer if you're not going to do anything to develop his character? All we learned from his scene so far is that he likes to feed his victims cat food and call them kitty. I'm not sure how that relates to the photographs he takes. Did he used to be an animal photographer at a rescue shelter and was also responsible for putting the animals down? See what I did? I just built up more of a character in that brief description than the movie gives us the entire time we're watching. This guy, Tom, also lives with his completely hairless brother, who I have a real problem with because just look at how lazily they costumed him. I have no doubt he actually owns this pair of jeans and they just took off his shirt and threw him on the set. You guys couldn't have scarred him up or something, maybe rubbed a little dirt or sprayed a little water on him to make him look sweaty. He always looks like he's just come out of a milk bath. It's like these girls are getting attacked by the mascot from Baby Geniuses. Not to mention he doesn't say a single word the whole movie. Why is he helping his brother? Is he dumb? Is it blind loyalty? Is it fearful obedience? Who is he? And what is in the sandwiches he eats? So anyway, they kill Jill. Colleen is doing some research on Peter Hemmings and discovers his portfolio looks like a default MySpace page. She decides she's gonna head over to the party that the California crew is throwing, but she wants Jill to come with her. Except Tom has Jill's phone, and under the guise of Jill, he agrees to meet with her at the party in 1 hour. By the way, who the hell's at this hot celebrity party? Well, the party consists of everyone who was at the grocery store 2 hours earlier, so 4 women who basically just dropped all their plans to come to this sticky yellow house and get crapped on by the most obnoxious Sears photographer in the world. We need to show that he's not over his ex-girlfriend yet. Okay, have him open his laptop and start looking at old photographs of his ex in the middle of the party while he's on the couch with another girl. Time for another legendary photo shoot. But Peter, we have professional lighting equipment in the car. No need. Inspiration has struck. Just push these women together and pop some lampshades off these lamps. I'm sure the artificial yellow glow of these bulbs will flatter these women's skin.
Get closer to each other, come on. Closer, 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 closer. Get inside of each other, go ahead. Fucking, yeah.
Okay, so another flub over here is that this was supposed to be a party, not the photo shoot. So immediately, I'm once again confused because the movie seems to have forgotten its own plot. Number 2, the idea behind the ad campaign was to make the models look like mutilated corpses, not like they're taking a freshman prom photo. That was the whole point of you coming to Spearfish to begin with. Colleen arrives to the party, but Peter immediately starts assaulting her with the camera after sharing some pretty rapey insights.
Permission is such a shit word. There's nothing sexy about it. You know, in my line of work, we don't ask for permission. Nobody talks to each other about permission. What we talk about is release. That's what we give each other. Just gonna make it come.
Back the fuck up!
Oh. No.
Why are you attacking her? Your boyfriend is a creep. Colleen runs outside because Peter is the worst, and Chris follows her to make sure she's okay and apologizes for Peter's behavior. Out there, they realize someone has left another graphic photo, this time on Colleen's car. The cops show up and maintain their reputation in this movie as being completely useless.
I understand that you're upset. I can see that. But from where I'm looking at things, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Hey, Chief, we gotta go. Miss Wilson said one of the first graders got their head stuck in a chair again. Well, then what the hell are we still doing here? Let's go. All units out. This is important stuff. Meanwhile, 7 women have gone missing in neighboring towns, and no one stops to compare the crime photos with the photos of these girls. I get they're mutilated, but look, I can tell she's got blue eyes and brown hair. That's gotta mean something to someone, right? Am I crazy here? Colleen heads home on her own, feeling absolutely exhausted with the cops, which is fine. I'm absolutely exhausted with the cops just watching this movie. She finds Ben has let himself into her apartment, and he immediately begins berating her for going to a party with the California crew.
Where I was.
Colleen.
Just say it was you so I can do something about it.
Best friend will fucking text me when you got there, alright?
What is he saying? I've listened to this like 100 times.
Best friend will fucking text me when you got there, alright?
Ben friend fucking texted me? Who is Ben? Ben? Wait, you're Ben. What is happening? Someone in the comments, please let me know what this man is saying. I have no idea. Ben and Colleen get into a fight as Ben is leaving, and he gets ambushed by Tom's brother, who proceeds to snap his neck. So Ben is dead. Or is he? For some reason, do the writers have amnesia? Because later in a different scene, Ben's alive and in a cage being fed Meow Mix. My dude, Ben had his neck snapped. Why is he in the cage? You killed him. You can't double kill him. We've yet to figure out why one of the serial killers is so obsessed with Colleen, but we know one of them entered her apartment briefly to look at her while she was washing her face, but didn't do anything. You just want a little peek. You just wanted to screen the Colleen, you know what I mean? The morning after the party, Peter decides to break down this whole situation by spouting off one of the worst monologues in this movie, or any movie, and I don't even want to comment on it, because it's so bad. Just listen.
What I'm doing, but the police. I'm not the police. I'm a fucking artist. And it's a very fine line that separates me from our sick fuck friend. He probably has a PC. Maybe I'm the one who's becoming obsolete. Maybe I'm the PC in this relationship. Maybe this guy is a Mac.
I get that this character is arrogant and egotistical, but Peter technically has zero connection to this serial killer. Tom does not know who the hell Peter Jennings is. We don't even know if the victims Tom posed have any relationship to any famous photos that Peter took. There's never like a scene of him moving the body around to make sure it matches up with a reference photo. Nope, we only get that one comparison shot to a magazine cover at the beginning of the movie. It's just not enough. Why would you introduce this idea of the photographer chasing the serial killer and not do anything with it? I feel the intention was to somewhat make this movie about a chess game between Tom and Peter, with Colleen being used as his pawn, this artistic but morbid battle over the best photographs, but this movie cannot be farther from that. So we're 1 hour into the movie and there's no connection between these characters and the serial killer. We haven't developed who they are except for Peter, who's monopolizing so much screen time that I thought he was going to be way more important to the plot than he was. Colleen decides to leave town, and guess who shows up that day on her shift to buy a single can of cat food? Tom apparently really likes Colleen. Chris and Peter tell Colleen that she should go with them to LA and become a model for his dirty photo shoot. She agrees because she wanted to leave town anyway. Peter suggests that tonight they all have a slumber party to make sure the serial killer doesn't get Colleen before they leave. Oh my god. The brothers called Jerry.
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. This is unbelievable. Colleen is assigned to room with Chris. In the room next door, Trip and Victoria, who I cannot emphasize this enough, they have done absolutely nothing in the movie so far. They've just been sitting there. I don't think they've had more than like 2 lines this entire movie. They start getting intimate. So Peter and Rose decide to go to the hot tub and leave the door wide open.
Tonight we have a slumber party. A safety in numbers slumber party.
Oh my god, even if there wasn't a serial killer on the loose, this is just nonsense behavior. Let's invite every mosquito and gnat in the world into our home. Thanks. Jerry kills Peter by stabbing him, and then Tom picks up the camera and starts photographing him. In the end, Peter died doing what he loved. Being the world. Peter sneaks up on Rose and snaps her neck with a towel. But don't worry, as we learned earlier in this movie, broken necks are just temporary boo-boos. It's the last 15 minutes of the movie, and now the murdering starts happening at a rapid pace. So this is all just going down super quick. Trip and Victoria finish up, and Victoria giggles because, Silly trip, you were totes filming me without my consent, and that's just silly of you. She's supposed to be so vain that she immediately starts getting off to the video, and it's then that Tom and Jerry spring forward and slash both their throats. Tom and Jerry, up to your antics again. Side note, I have no idea how these two killers got in this room. I saw this twice already, and it really doesn't make sense, because a moment ago they were outside near the hot tub, and now they're in the room on the second floor. At least have Tom and Jerry walk through the door, not just manifest in some shadowy corner of the room like a ninja. Victoria and Trip die covered in gallons of blood, so there are two people left in this house. Chris decides to give Colleen some space and goes downstairs, leaving her alone. Chris finally finds Rose's body and starts freaking out, but the moment he reaches for the phone, Jerry cuts the power to the house. Having no electricity, Chris decides the only way to navigate in the darkness is to take photos of everything around him as to illuminate his way with the flashes. Can you even process what's happening in that millisecond of illumination? Because I can't. Eventually, Jerry stabs Chris through the skull, and we're left with just Colleen. Tom tells Colleen to come downstairs because this is her big moment, and then he just walks away. When she finally creeps her way downstairs, she sees everyone from California is dead in the living room. Tom reveals himself to her at last and seems to want to take her photo. But when she runs, the movie cuts to black. The movie ends with this woman who, fun fact, is the same actress who played Ren on Even Stevens and the voice of Kim Possible, Christy Carlson Romano. Anyway, she goes to work and she notices this gruesome photo outside the ice cream shop where she works, signaling, I suppose, that Tom has a new target. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the girl in the photographs. Thanks for making it to the end, guys. That movie was frustrating to watch. It feels like it never really took off or went somewhere. It was like the friend in the chat room that talks about making plans but never actually makes plans. Stop telling me you're gonna start a photo shoot with pretend corpses and then not do it. You want to find the photos more than anything? Well, you don't seem too hyped about finding that one. Oh, you apparently love Colleen? Can you give me one good reason why exactly, and why you think killing people is going to impress her? This was a nothing movie. If I hadn't reviewed it, I'd probably immediately forget it. Foxwalk Reviews gives it 3 PCs out of 10 max. If you like watching silly movie reviews and the occasional internet commentary video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you to every single one of my 54 subscribers. You guys are the best. Have an awesome day, guys, and I'll see you next time.